Nawalew. China first, of the People's Republic of China, Republic of Fiji, government ministers, assistant ministers and senior government officials, chair of the organizing committee and president of the Chinese Association of Fiji, Ms. Jenny Sito, leaders of various Chinese organizations and groups, our honored guests, senior members of the Chinese community in Fiji, family, friends, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Nisa Pulvanaka, and a very good morning to you all. We begin by acknowledging the traditional owners and custodians of the land on which we are gathered today. Unuan Mai, Wana Turangana Rotishuva, we pay our respects to the elders and leaders past, present, and emerging, and some of whom could be here with us today. It is truly a heartwarming scene to behold. Such a vibrant sea of red and so many proud Fijians of Chinese descent gathered here today. We thank you for your contribution. We celebrate with you your association with Fiji. I understand that many of you have traveled from across the country, from Rabuka and from the western and northern divisions. What about the south? I'm sure Sir James Akoi would be very angry if we left out the south. You're here to celebrate this remarkable occasion, the 170th anniversary of the arrival of the first Chinese settlers in Fiji and 50 years of diplomatic relations between the Republic of Fiji and the People's Republic of China. I'm delighted to see banners representing Chinese farmers, provincial and village groups, women's organizations, business communities, schools, sporting clubs, the Chinese Fusion Group, and other associations. This colorful gathering reflects not only the rich diversity within the Chinese community in Fiji, but also the shared pride and unity that bind you together in celebrating your enduring heritage and contribution to our country. As I look around the park today, I see many familiar faces, families whose names are woven into Fiji's history and progress. Among them are the Honglees, descendants of Moibak Ling family, the Hamnams of Wali's Butchery, the Yees of Leyland Butchery, and the Sitos, Chan, Hong Tai, Fong, Chung, Yan, Wong, Yi Joy, and just to name just a few. So you've left out my grand aunt's name. He called himself Serene. We just called him Kuku Serene. I don't know what his real name was, but I'm sure he's got relatives or descendants in Fiji today. His second name was written as York, whether it was Sydney York or Sydney, whatever the closest Chinese name to that would have been. So we give you credit for what Fiji has become. You have been the mainstay of our society, particularly in the business side of things. Your families have been part of Fiji's story for generations, building businesses, creating livelihoods, and contributing to our economy, to our culture, and to our communities. You represent the enduring friendship between Fiji and China and the deep roots of the Chinese community that continues to enrich our nation's diversity and strength. As Jenny had said, the first Chinese settlers in Fiji, Moy Buckling, arrived in 1855, 170 years ago, and I'm honored that his descendants stand among us today. Your ancestors came to Fiji as farmers and traders in Big Timor and Sandalwood, settling first among our rural and maritime communities, and from the very beginning, they built relationships founded on mutual respect and harmony. Over the years, new generations of Chinese have arrived, men and women from many professions and sectors, all contributing to the life and program of our nation. The courage of those first settlers who left behind the familiar environment they had to build a new life in colonial Fiji is deeply imbibed. They brought with them enduring values, hard work, self-reliance, integrity, loyalty, harmony, and respect for family. 7 generations later, those same values continue to shine within Fiji's Chinese community. Your contributions to education, health, businesses, professional fields, politics, culture, and infrastructure have helped shape the modern Fiji we know today. You have strengthened the bonds of friendship between our peoples and enriched the social and economic fabric of our beloved nation. At the government-to-government level, Fiji's partnership with the People's Republic of China has brought tangible benefits across many sectors, from agriculture, fisheries and forestry to infrastructure, manufacturing, mining, medicine, and public health. 50 years ago, Fiji and China established diplomatic relations founded on mutual respect, equality, and non-interference, opening a new chapter in our partnership. Since then, the two nations have strengthened political, economic, and cultural ties through high-level visits and deep mutual support on core national interests. China has become one of Fiji's major trading partners, with bilateral trade continuing to grow steadily in recent years. Cooperation under the Belt and Road Initiative has brought transformative infrastructure alongside agricultural, technological advancements and benefit thousands of Fijians. People-to-people ties between Fiji and China have continued to flourish through mutual visa exemptions, sister city partnerships, cultural exchanges, medical assistance, and scholarship that enable Fijian students to study in China. Thank you very much for those opportunities. Both nations have stood shoulder to shoulder during global crises, demonstrating genuine solidarity and enduring friendship. Our partnership has also strengthened the bonds between our peoples, creating new pathways for cooperation in businesses, in education, in sports, and in culture. I'm very glad that we have our own Minister for Itoke Affairs, Culture and Heritage here this morning to see what we can put together, not only as a nation, but in our provincial groups, in our old, smaller cultural groups in Fiji. Imagine a gathering of all the provinces, bringing in all the Tikina cultures on show. That would be a big challenge, Honorable Minister. Through the Belt and Road Initiative, Fiji has benefited from significant infrastructure investments that help deliver the fruits of development to all Fijians. As we look to the future, both nations remain committed to strengthening our cooperation in areas such as trade, investment, and climate resilience. Our enduring friendship continues to promote shared prosperity, sustainable progress, and mutual understanding, guiding Fiji and China into a new chapter of partnership built on respect and shared goals. Looking ahead, I am confident that this partnership will continue to grow stronger as we work together to confront the great challenges of our time, from climate change and disaster resilience to poverty alleviation and sustainable growth. Ladies and gentlemen, as we reflect on 150 years of Chinese settlement in Fiji and 50 years of formal diplomatic relations between Fiji and the People's Republic of China, we celebrate not only history, but a living legacy of friendship, respect, and shared progress. The story of the Chinese in Fiji is a story of courage, perseverance, and partnership. From humble beginnings as traders and farmers to the leaders, entrepreneurs, and professionals that we see around us today, your journey mirrors Fiji's own story of resilience and renewal. On behalf of the people, the government, and His Excellency the President of Fiji, I extend our deepest gratitude to the Chinese community for your enduring contributions to our nation's growth, our prosperity, our unity. You are an integral part of our national fabric and a bridge that continues to connect our two people together. As Fiji and China move forward together, let us build on the foundation of mutual trust, cooperation, and shared values that have guided us for half a century. Let us continue to work side by side for peace, for development, and for the well-being of our people. May this golden era of Fiji-China friendship shine ever brighter in the years ahead. Vinawalevu, Jeje, and thank you very much. The title of his book is Kai China. He became the dux of the school in his final year. He became a regional manager of one of the biggest oil companies. At school, he was Joe Mbani Vanua from Moala in Laos. When I met him at golf in Queensland, when I was Prime Minister, he told me, Prime Minister, it's okay to be Chinese. That's why I'm using Joe Ma now. And he's taken the time to write his book, China, A World Between. I commend this book to you. It is the story of a boy from Moala who for a long time tried to shield himself from being called China. Even on the honors board at school, as ducks of that year, they got Cho Banivanua. Josiah Banivanua. Years later, he found out it's okay to be Chinese. I commend this book to you. I think I gained some commission from him. Joe Banivanua Ma. It's okay to be Chinese. And the title of the book is China. Now I live.